right, fourth grade. So today we are going to be making ice cream cones with the paper that we painted our different tints on. So here's what you're gonna do first. You're going to cut out those squares that we painted. Then what you're gonna do is you are going to pick the 4 that show that range of your tints the best. So I think I'm definitely gonna keep my original green by itself. And then I have my really, really light green that I think is great. But then I just need to find the ones that are the most different. So if I have 2 that are really, really the same, I probably won't use both of those, right? So I think maybe I'll do this one and this one. I think those are my 4. I think those show that range the best. There's no 2 that look super, super similar. I think this will be great. So then what you're gonna do is you are going to flip these over, and you are going to do this part with a pencil, but so you can see it on the video, I'm gonna do it with a marker. We are going to draw our scoops of ice cream. Now the way I draw my scoops of ice cream is I draw a big rainbow line first, or a U, or a C, whatever you wanna think of it as. Then I come out, and then I just do a jumping line across. Okay, so that's one ice cream scoop. Now you can see I tried to use as much of that square as I possibly could because we want these to be big scoops of ice cream. Okay, once you've drawn all of them, then you can cut those out. All right, so there are my 4 scoops. You're gonna have a long piece of paper like this, and you'll have a square or a rectangle for your cone, of your ice cream. So what you're gonna do is if you need to, you can make a little mark. I just like to find the center of the bottom, and I can make a tiny little mark. You guys should probably do that with your pencil so you don't see it. But I just made a tiny little mark to show where the center of my rectangle was. And from that mark, I'm just gonna cut up to one corner, and then I'm just gonna cut up to the next corner. And then there's my cone for my ice cream. Now I can start gluing all this down. So you want your darkest ice cream to be at the bottom, and then you're going to get lighter and lighter as you go up, okay? And kind of keep in mind, you want to use up most of your space, so don't layer them all up so much that you still have space at the top, right? So kind of spread them out, lay them out first to kind of see how much you need to overlap them. And remember, papers that have been painted, they don't really like to glue down very easily, so you kind of have to go back and push them down a couple times. All right, so now we can get to decorating our ice cream. So you can start, if you want, and you want to put like some chocolate drizzle on top. I really love to do that. I'm just going to take that same rectangle that I used for my cone. And then what I do is I kind of lay it on there like that. And if you want to do this before you even cut out your, or before you glue down your ice cream cone, that's probably better because you can just kind of trace your cone on top of it. But since I didn't think to do that first, I'm just going to kind of look at where my cone is. And then I'm just gonna draw some drips dripping down. Hope you can see that. So I drew the outline of my ice cream, and then I just drew some fun drips. Now, you do not have to put chocolate drips on there. I'm just doing this for fun. You can put whatever kind of toppings you like to have on your ice cream. So we're gonna go to the scrap bin. Once you've gotten to this point, you're gonna go to the scrap bin and find scraps that have the colors of the things that you want. All right, I just went and grabbed a bunch of little scraps. So what I think I'm gonna do first is I love gummy bears. So I think I'm going to put some gummy bears on there. You can layer up a couple of pieces of paper at a time, so that way it's a little bit easier to cut out multiples of one thing. Did I say gummy bears or gummy worms? I mean gummy worms. I like gummy worms on my ice cream. But this is where you can get creative and add all kinds of cool stuff to your ice cream. I've seen people add cookies. I've seen people add huge chocolate bars sticking out the side. I've seen people do M&M's, Skittles, sprinkles, all kinds of things. You can get creative. Think about what you like to have on your ice cream. Then I'll also have a bunch of hole punchers that you can use to punch out sprinkles. But here's what I do not want. I do not want you to just have an ice cream full of hole punch sprinkles. I want you to come up with some other cool details of things that you can add. Now, of course, I'm not gluing these down yet just so I can show you quicker for the video, but you are, of course, going to glue every single thing down. Now, I'm definitely not done. I know I can add some more details, but I want to show you the last steps of finishing off your ice cream cone. So I'm going to grab a crayon, and this is really the only thing we're going to draw on our entire ice cream cone. Everything else is going to be cut out of paper. But on our ice cream cone, I'm gonna take a dark brown, which is not that, that's like a red. I'm gonna take a dark brown and I am going to draw diagonal lines going both directions on my cone to show the waffle cone. And all you have to do for that is just draw diagonal lines this way, then diagonal lines this way, right? Then I think I'm gonna add a little cherry. I'll have little squares for your cherries over here if you'd like to do that. And this is going to be the only other thing I'm going to let you draw. If you want to put a cherry on here, then I will let you add a little stem. And a little highlight on your cherry with white to make it look shiny. Okay, so like I said, I am not completed with this. I could add so many more details, but I want to give you time to get started. All right, I cannot wait to see what you do with your ice cream cones.